rotations today. We're going to do work with rotations. A rotation is a transformation in which a figure is rotated or turned about a fixed point. Speaking of basketball, it's like your pivot foot. Okay? One part has to stay and the rest spins around. If I spin a full circle, how many degrees is that? 360. Very good. The origin is the fixed point. Whoops. We are spinning everything around the origin. A rotation does not change the size or the shape of the figure. Doesn't change the size or the shape. So the pre-image and the image are congruent. Congruent means same size and same shape. This is everything we've dealt with translations and reflections. If it starts with a triangle, it's going to end with a triangle. If it starts with a rectangle, it's going to end with a rectangle, but it's going to be spun. Rotations are going to give you degrees and direction. So 90, 180, or 270. This is like a quarter turn, a half turn, or 3/4 of a turn around a circle. And you have to go clockwise or counterclockwise. Clockwise means you take the top of your paper and push it towards Hoosier's room. Counterclockwise means you take the top of your paper and push it towards Weese's room. Just like how a clock will, don't draw this, but you know how a clock says 1, 2, 3? Clockwise means you spin it this way. So towards Hoosier's room. Does that make sense? Towards Hoosier's room. Okay? All right. Triangle DEF has these vertices. Graph the figure and its image after a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. So let's all take a minute to graph these points. We have to put the originals. It has never been as important as it is today to make sure we label them correctly. Somebody raise your hand and tell me my directions of how I'm going to graph -4, 4 if I start at 0, 0. Courtney? Nicely done. I'm going to put a dot and call it D. Nope, that's the original. Tone, how do I get to E? Very good. And who wants F for me? Bryce? Excellent job. So we have a triangle. We have a triangle. Okay. Now you all need to lay your piece of paper. I'm going to steal Brody's here. So that your name in this 8A is perfectly at the top, like so. Okay? This is where we have to read our directions. It tells us clockwise, 90 degrees. Clockwise means the top of our paper is going to push towards Hoosier's room. We're going to take the top of this and we're going to spin it this way. Okay? So the top of your paper needs to spin 1/4 of a turn. Okay, so everybody take your paper, take the top of it, and spin it so that your name is over here on the right-hand side. Okay, everybody's paper should be laying on your desk like this, yes? Okay, close your eyes, open them up, and say, oh my gosh, look at that graph that I just made. I wonder where my points are. We're going to pretend like we've never seen this graph before, and we're going to write down the coordinates of these points. Okay? So with your paper laying sideways, yes, we're going to write sideways on your paper, and Ms. Hoff doesn't care. That's long. Okay? Somebody tell me where D prime is located. Don't try to overthink this. But if you're going to tell me the coordinates of D when your paper is sitting sideways, Allison, what are you going to tell me? No, -4, -4 would be down here. +4, +4. Everybody agree with that? It's right 4 and up 4. Write that down. Look at you. Did you label them? All I'm asking her, what are the coordinates of that point? So she said +4, +4. Okay, Zayden, where do you think E is? No, your paper's supposed to be sideways. Your paper's supposed to be sideways. Okay, leave it sideways. Okay, Zayden, where are you telling me E is? +2, +1. Right 2, up 1. Make sure you do X, comma, Y. Your paper should be sideways. If your paper is not sideways, you are not listening. Bryce, F prime. +1, +3. All those guys did is they took this paper, they pretended like this was a brand new graph, and they said, if I start at 0, 0, how would I get to D? I would go right 4, up 4. Well, that's a +4, +4. E, right 2, up 1. +2, +1. F, right 1, up 3. +1, +3. Now, take your paper, put it back to normal. You just wrote down D prime, E prime, and F prime. Now we need to plot them. So now we're going to plot, yes, I know your coordinates are sideways. Now we're going to plot these points. So somebody who has not answered for me yet, tell me, how do I get to D prime? 4, 4. Liana, give me direction. Very good. Right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4, 1, 2, 3. That is going to be called D prime. Somebody who has not answered for me, tell me where E prime is located. Haley. Very good. Right 2, up 1 is E prime. And somebody else who has not answered, Marilyn, F prime. Right 1, up 3, and that one is F prime. If you think about this, our triangle was in this corner before, yes? And we spun it towards Hoosier's room 1/4 of a turn. Did it end up in the right spot? Yes. So it shifted everything over here. It is easiest for us to actually turn our paper. Now, everybody always says to me, well, Miss Hoff, when you go to grade my paper, the points are sideways. Miss Hoff doesn't care. At least I know you turned your paper like you were supposed to, right? It's okay that it's sideways. It's fine. All right, let's go to B. This time we have a quadrilateral, which means it has 4 points. We need to plot these points to start with. Somebody who has not answered for me, tell me how I'm getting to M. How am I graphing M? Somebody who has not answered for me. Caitlin. Very good. Right 2, up 5 should be right at the top. Agreed? Who can tell me how to get to N who has not answered for me yet today? Jack? So don't compare it to another one. Just tell me exactly where you're going on this one. 4, 4. How do I get to 4, 4? What's that? Okay, but it's 4, 4. So my X is 4 and my Y is 4. So if I start at 0, 0, where do I have to go? Right 4, up 4. And that one's going to be called N. Sam, do you know how I get to P? Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1. Gets me to P. Who's got Q who hasn't answered for me yet? Tegan. Very good. I'm going to call that Q. Oopsies. Okay. Now we got to pay attention. It tells us counterclockwise. which means the top of our paper is getting pushed towards Weiss. And 270, that's 3/4 of the way around. Okay? So your paper looks like this right now, yes? It's not the same exact paper. Bear with me. So everybody has it like this. Take the top of your paper and we're going to turn it towards Weiss. Ready? How far have I gone? No. 90. 180. 270. 360 is all the way around. We will never go all the way around. So your paper should have your name on that right-hand side, yes? Okay, now Miss Hall makes you do this silly thing of close your eyes, open them back up, and the reason I say that is ignore all of your directions and look at your graph like it's a brand new graph. Now your picture should be down here, yes? Okay, we need to write down the location of these points. But there really are primes. M prime. Who can tell me where M prime is located? Courtney? 5, -2 is absolutely correct. Good work. Who can tell me where N prime is? Tone. Okay, you got to be doing this. All you got to do is count. What? N. Careful. Which way do you want to go, right or left first? I'm trying to get to here. Right? So if I go to the right, is that positive or negative? So +4, and then are you going up or down? Down, which would be a -4. Very good. 4, -4. P prime. It's rotated sideways. Just think of it as a brand new, and all I'm asking you are for the coordinates. Allison? 1, -5. And Q prime, Liana? 1, -2. Nicely done, you guys. All right. Rotate your paper back to normal. And put the points that we just wrote up there on your graph, labeling them M prime, N prime, P prime, Q prime. Rotate your paper back to normal. And now plot these points. Whoa. Rotate your paper back to normal. Now plot them. You didn't write them down, you goof. Can you what? Nope, just have them just like that because I want you to have them that way. I don't know. It's okay though. Just plot them, it doesn't matter. Turn it, look what it says, 5, -2. Now go back. Yes. Okay. We started up here. We were turning towards Weiss. 90, 180, 270. Did we graph our final one in the right spot? Yes. Okay. It's fine that the points are written sideways on your paper. It's fine. Ms. Hoff does not care. Okay, flip it over. On your own, plot R, S, and T. Don't worry about rotating it yet. On your own, plot those points. Make sure you label them. Okay, has everybody got it graphed? Check that your triangle looks the same as mine. Okay, so now we got to look at what's important here. Clockwise, so the top of your paper is going which way? Clockwise, towards Hoosier's room. 180 degrees is how far? Halfway, right? Or 2 turns. So everybody grab the top of your paper, turn it towards Hoosier, there's 90. Turn it towards Hoosier again, there's 180. Now your name should be at the bottom, correct? The name line? Okay, close your eyes, open them up, write down the location of where those points are. I want you to try this on your own. With your triangle spun, careful, here's 90, or here's 0, right? And you're going towards Hoosier, 90, because it's a quarter turn, 180, upside down. Careful, your triangle's got to look the same as mine to start with. So if I want to get to this point right here, start at 0, 0. How am I going to get there? Now careful, really, you're going down, right? Okay, so if I'm going right, is that a positive or negative 3? If I go to the right, so it's a positive 3. And then if I go down 4, is that a positive or negative 4? Very good. Okay, now go back to 0, 0 and get to your S. All right, R prime is at tone. That is not R. R prime is, Liana? 3, negative 4. Very good. S prime, Addie? 3, negative 1. T prime, Courtney? 1, negative 1. Good work, you guys. Now go plot those points. Go plot those and label them. R prime, S prime, and T prime. Reset your paper and go plot those new points. Yeah. Yes.
It's right. It's just something like
I don't know what that is.
when they rotate it, they just look to see.
But I did that before we did this. But I don't know how I got that.
That's right. These two are not. 3, negative 1. You did 3, positive 1. You need 3, negative 1. 3, negative 4. Your R prime and S prime are plotted incorrectly. T prime is right. All right, let's go down and try D. Let's go down. We're going to do it in steps again. M and P. Plot these points to start with. I want everybody to make sure they're starting in the right spot. M and P. Yes, that's right now, Haley. Now don't copy mine. Make sure you're doing it on your own first. Double checking it. Okay, so now we're going 90 degrees counterclockwise. Counterclockwise means I'm taking the top of the paper and pushing it towards Weiss. So take the top of your paper. 90 degrees is just a quarter of a turn. So your name should be on the left side now, yes? You got to push towards Weiss. Your name should be on the left side. Now close your eyes. Open them up. Write down where you think those points are located now. No, make sure you don't mix them up. Make sure you label these the right way. You know what I'm saying?
The way I was looking at it, because I was looking at it like this, I was just going on the first one I saw.
Yeah, but that will help you so then you don't have them. You know what I mean?
But it don't bother.
Where's your pen at?
Careful. This has to shove towards Weiss. This. Top towards Weiss. No,
This doesn't make sense.
top towards Weiss.
Like this?
That is not correct. Okay, now close your eyes. Open them back up. Tell me where M is located. This point right here.
Positive 1, positive 5.
Now we need to plot those points. So, -4, 1.
So careful, you got to go X comma Y, which is your left and right, then your up and down.
No, -4, 1.
I'm trying to get to M right here. Do I go left or right?
Right.
Over here? This is the right.
-4.
Right is this way. See?
Oh, we're looking at it.
You're looking at it like a brand new graph. Yeah, don't try to make, when you spin it, it's like a brand new graph.
Oh,
So I would go,
Guys, you got this?
how would I get
I'm
to?
trying to get back to that end.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to M from 0, 0.
Opposite of the clock.
So then you go
So now list what those points are.
Yep.
Where's M at?
and then right 4 on this side.
No. Right here.
Left 4.
Left 4. Okay, so what is the X comma Y location of that? If I went left 4 and up 1.
What's your N?
If you go left, does it make your X positive or negative? Negative, so you'd have a -4. And then if you go up 1, does that make your Y positive or negative? Positive. So you'd have -4, positive 1. Write that down. M prime. M prime should be -4, positive 1. N prime should be -1. Yes. Sorry. I had to think for a minute there. And P prime should be -3, positive 5. You almost have to tell your brain not to trick you, agreed? It's a brand new graph. Don't overthink. So if you plot these points, you should end up at -4, 1 is your M prime. -1, 3 is your N prime. And -3, 5 is your P prime. Go back to normal. Yes. Yes. Okay, here's the biggest thing, you guys, as 8th graders, you have to know the difference between left and right. That is, when you guys, a lot of you are talking about wanting to get your driver's license, when you're taking that driver's test and they say, go ahead and make a left-hand turn at the stoplight, if you don't know where if you are going left or right, that makes a difference as to what lane you're in. So it is crucial that you guys know without hesitation the difference between your left and your right. Yes, I have these signs up here, but really as 8th graders, I should not have to be helping you with left and right. So you have to be able to take care of that. It is all about spinning. I'll add this to this. Counterclockwise is to the left, clockwise is to the right, and I will add that up here. And you're always spinning the top of your paper. Always spinning the top of your paper. All right? Homework is nice. The first couple, they already have graphed for you, which you guys will appreciate because you don't have to graph them, you just have to spin them. Cool? All right, let me get you your homework.